guys? Tambo here with your weekly core report. It's another monster week for Run Pure Sports members, including another Millie Maker shipper. Let's get to the winners. The World Cup continued to print for our members. Rubio and Jaime have been producing winning content throughout the event, and last week was no different. IPT 007 hit for 6K. K. Reed won 7K. Bobby Hare hit for 10K, while Rubio himself shipped another 16K. We pride ourselves in offering just about every sport for one low price. We'll put our content for all sports up against any competitor when it comes to producing winners. Steve Boynton has been on fire in college basketball, helping our members ship, as well as himself hitting for 2K. Jay Gingery 912 joined him, winning 3K. In the MMA streets, Hoop shipped for 30K using Titletown's playbook. And it's not just on Draftkings where we produce the winners. For prize picks this week, Du Bois hit for $500 and C. McDonald 1016 won $2,500 using our NBA prize picks content. Speaking of NBA, Jesse Samek hit for 6K while Mangone nailed his core and shipped for 8K. This has been a successful NFL season for Run Pure Sports, making people a ton of money. This week, we produced our second Millie Maker winner of the year. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already to access all our free NFL content. Our members' ROI has been off the charts this season. In week 13, You Should Be turned $80 into 8K. Motor City 2 DFW turned $50 into 5K. King of the North hit for 15K, and I finished in 6th place in the King of the Beach contest, winning 40K. But the biggest winner by far was RPS member Alicia Hunt, who turned $240 into over $1 million.
So typically what I do is I'll go over, the core plays, look at Big T stuff a lot. And what I did was I took bits and pieces of what I liked, and then I threw in some of the stuff that I like.
Congrats again to all our members. If you want to be featured in the core report, drop your winning lineup in the Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value with all sports included for one low price. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Till next time, let's keep running pure.
All right, Friday news dump. Holden, Crane, Tambo is back. Can't give congratulations to Tambo anymore unless he hits for 100K. So
okay.
I'm over it.
Wait, hold on. Wait. No.
I'm over it.
Tambo, congratulations.
Yeah,
all
you
right,
can do it.
Holden's in a pissy mood. That's okay.
No, I'm not.
I'm still
It's fair.
No, I'll say this. Well, no, he's actually in a very good club with Tony and Hoop. You don't hit for six figures.
That's high praise. That's really high praise.
That's why getting congratulations from me means a little bit more than you, Crane. Just a little bit more, buddy.
I do give it out willy-nilly. That's true.
I got standards. The guy's on a roll, but we needed 40K more out of you last week. So
keep it going. We'll keep it going next week in New Orleans for you. I need a top
Oh, you going
15.
to New Orleans next week?
Top 15. We'll get that. I want a lot more, but if that's what I need to get a congratulations from you, I'm even more motivated than I ever was before.
Good. It should. There's three of you at the top now, and it's unfortunate, Tambo, but I think life will move on. So here's what we do on the dump. If you haven't seen the show before, welcome. We give you all the injury report news, and we tell you how to deal with it in DFS. Pretty simple stuff. Hit the like button. That'll help us out. That'll make us feel really good. And then you're looking at the show here Sunday mornings. If you're not a part of us, you got to check it out. 8:45 Eastern, Tambo, JT, AP. This week, the Tone Dog is on. He's doing something where it's warm, trying to win a ton of money. So you'll have Crane, you'll have Hoop, and you'll have DC on the wood, and then me, JSU, and Dunkel leading up to lock.
This is the first time hearing of this, so I had no idea.
Oh, you didn't know DC was there?
I had no idea. Now I can't go.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
He was just saying really horrible things about you too.
I'm comfortable with that.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
I don't care either way. What are you gonna do?
There was a little rivalry.
He's gonna open his mouth. That's just how it goes.
Oh boy. Okay, let's start here. Tambo, Fournette's questionable. He didn't practice today. He had a foot issue. He popped up late in the week. He says hopefully he'll play. Do you want Rachaad White? Do you want Fournette if he's playing, or just completely abandon this backfield?
I think I'll just abandon it. Yeah, this game, I get it, but with the injuries pop up, I understand why people would go there. I'll think about it maybe closer to Sunday. We'll get the news on the Off the Chalk show. I have it ready to go. I know it's an afternoon game. Maybe we won't have it yet, but talk through it more there. But as of right now, nothing actually on either side really interests me. I know there's some talk about CMC in the opposite side of that game and had a good week last week, etc. But I just don't have a lot of interest in this spot personally with the way the slate's shaping up. So nothing for me in this one.
Crane?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Tambo here. Like, as we get later in the season, there are just so many teams that are very clearly really bad, that are very clearly going to get thumped, that have quit. And like, you're going to do pretty well just to ignore those spots. And Tampa, I think we're kind of getting kind of close with Tampa. Like, it's just a bit of a mess there. And, San Francisco I'm surprised San Fran's only 3.5-point favorites. Like, because to me, San Fran should just kick the shit out of them. But I don't know, like, do I want to mess with a Tampa running back on this slate? Like, the price is right, okay? 5.5, that's a good price for a starting running back, but I don't know. It's just, he's definitely not going to be a core piece. Like, if he's the last dude in, I guess I could talk myself into that, but I'm not going to go into the slate on Sunday planning on playing Rachaad White.
Okay. So let me give you a congratulations. You were right on Nico Collins with your garbage time touchdown, but you were right. You played him last week. That was it. I ended up playing him in one lineup. My guy Quez Watkins got injured. Your boy won.
I'll tell you what, this is brutal for Tambo. Tambo has to win 100K to get a congratulations. I get it with the Nico Collins touchdown.
Yeah,
like
there is a problem with that. Now here's the thing. Listen, boys, Nico Collins was in my 6th place lineup, but there's no way you can give congratulations when the man hit his ceiling.
Did you win 100K?
That's his ceiling was 12.2. That was I regret playing him heavily. I could have played Watson and then dropped Eckler down to somebody else and shipped. But yeah, either way, his ceiling is 12. I don't think we can be playing him again, and I'm glad he's out this week. So that's
all right. Good. So Crane, no Nico the Freako, no Brandon Cooks. We got Chris Moore and Philip Dorsett. Which cheap piece of shit are you putting in your lineup?
Are you kidding me? Like, I'm playing the Cowboys defense. I'm not messing with these guys.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah. Really? Okay, Tambo. Let's hear it, Tambo.
Jordan Aiken.
Ooh.
Okay. These were not like random
it.
plays to him last week or anything. We were watching it there. There was play calls for him. Like, he's solid and he's just good. So at the $2,800 price tag, if you want to play him, you can use it in a secondary stack if you're going Zeke or if you're going Pollard. You can do it instead of, if you're not getting to Dallas D, just have it fit in there. There's if you want to run DAC stacks or Lamb secondaries, there's just a lot of ways you could use it. And I don't hate them. So I'll definitely have some of them at $2,800.
We've got Crane. We got Kenny Walker and DJ Dallas game time decisions. Travis Homer's there. I mean, this is such a cluster. They are taking on the Panthers. You're going to get Ken Walker at no ownership if he ends up playing, but how do you want to handle this?
I mean, this is just a massive headache, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, if Kenneth Walker plays, is he a good play? Yeah, of course he is. If he doesn't play, that means Homer or Dallas. Like, who knows who's going to, maybe it's Tony Jones. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with these guys. It sounds like Homer's going to go. So it's probably going to be Travis Homer, but like, I don't know. I kind of just want to ignore this spot, but I feel like that's a mistake because everybody's going to ignore this spot, right? Nobody's going to be wanting to play these guys. Nobody's going to want to deal with the headache. And if you're like, let's just assume if Kenneth Walker's out and you have him in, like, I don't even know what the pivot is. Like, you want him in the flex. Maybe you could move to, God, I mean, maybe like a guy like Debo, you could move Chris Godwin, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's a mess. Like, I don't think you could play Kenneth Walker in the running back spot. I think you have to play him in the flex because you need that kind of flexibility this week in case he's out. It's an absolute mess. Maybe you just play the passing game. Like, if all these running backs are banged up, maybe they throw it a little bit more often, which means that Geno at no ownership, a home favorite against Carolina, you compare him with DK and Lockett, both those guys have reasonable prices. I guess that's the tournament way to do it because if you try and mess with this running back spot, even though they're in good situations, I think you're going to be dealing with a big headache on Sunday.
What do you think, Tambo? Seattle situation?
Yeah, what's what Crane said. I was gonna say, first of all, it's definitely a late swap situation. So you're just plugging him into the flex or whatever. I mean, like he's $6,800. I'm pretty sure when I was looking at the numbers that Lockett is $300 less. Yeah, he is. I was just making sure. So, you're probably not gonna have them together anyway. Obviously, if you got Geno stacks and setups, you can do whatever you want there. But my point being, in most cases, if you've got him in the flex, assume he's playing based on, again, I think he's pretty doubtful. I don't think he is, but if you wanted to use him, I'm saying you could do that, or you could play Lockett lineups that leave $300 just in case he's in, and you'll get him at extremely low ownership. You could swap to that. It's definitely a late swap situation for me. Don't have a lot of interest behind him though. Like DJ Dallas, questionable too. Homer, who cares? Homer has 28 carries in a year. I know he's like a 3-4 running back, like running back 3-4, but point being, like they just were never giving this guy a shot, and it's not like you would expect much out of him. So we'll have to wait and see if he's the only guy and they say he's starting, then again, we'll get that news and we can figure it out from there. He's 5K. But if not, I think it's just what we said. You play Lockett with the money, the 300, or you play him and then you can swap to Lockett if you want to do that.
Okay. Coming right back at you, Tambo. Najee Harris, he's not on the injury report. Okay. And you say, hey, this is injury stuff here. Why are we talking about him? What do you think of Najee Harris?
Najee on my lineups? I don't know. Not on my lineups. I don't
No?
Have you been working on that one? Is that
I
like
feel like you saved that one up. Yeah.
Yeah. That felt like you've been held on to that one for a while.
Let me ask you another guy.
I didn't even know Najee was going to come up. I forgot he was on the slate, but I'm definitely not playing that guy against Baltimore. I think they're giving up 50 yards to these running backs mostly for the last 4 weeks or something. They're not giving it up all of a sudden to Najee Harris. So I'm definitely not going there.
The other guy that's off the injury report is Dante Foreman. Any interest?
Yeah, a lot more.
Yes. Welcome aboard, Tambo. I'm surprised we're both on the same page here because I thought I was going to be alone on Mr. Foreman.
Yeah, I think they ran the ball 41 times last week between Hubbard and Foreman being the lead guy with I think it was 24-17 was the breakdown. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in Foreman here. Again, he fits the setup too. I'm actually, I didn't bring this up earlier. I know DK Metcalf for some reason showed up questionable, but if you've got Geno stacks with Foreman, like they've been run all over. So I think you could definitely go there. Whatever you want to do. I'm definitely interested in Foreman though, for sure.
Yep. Okay. I think Foreman's one of the best plays on the entire slate. Like at his price with the amount of carries he's going to get in this matchup, like it's really tough for me not to like Foreman. Just 5'4", like why wouldn't you play the dude? Like these guys that just get 20-something carries, like you just play them.
I like it. No. I like it. And then the other guy would be Saquon, who was questionable. I don't even think it's worth a discussion now, though. They say he's probably going to play. So against the Eagles, you know what? I can just ask you this. Crane, he's got a nice matchup, right? Saquon?
I mean, boy, the Eagles just stuffed the shit. Out of Derrick Henry. Like that was that was not good for your boy because I had Mr. Henry on all my lineups and it did not work out. No, not even a little bit.
And I think Jordan Davis is back now too, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's got to be real tough for me. Like I'm paying up a wide receiver this week. Like I don't think I'm going to have 8K for Saquon.
No Saquon, Tambo. No,
definitely not. No
Saquon. All right, let's go to the Cleveland Browns, who, by the way, Stefanski's a piece of shit too. I'm done with him. I had so much Nick Chubb last week, and then he's like, all right, let's come out and throw it with Watson 5 of the first 7 passes. Let's just abandon the run game because we don't need it. He got lucky that his defense.
I'm surprised Chubb was as low owned as he was last week.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Like, I thought
price and options. There was options on the slate.
Yeah, I just thought that obviously it didn't work out, but I thought he was kind of the safest play on the slate. I didn't play him because I thought that the range of outcomes with the Browns was just so wide, and I expect him to be more popular. Had I known he was going to be that low owned, I actually would have played him. So
one thing is they have went away from Kareem Hunt. Like this guy has been out of the mix for a while now. It's insane. Yeah. But last week too, you had to realize that there was a possibility with what they've poured into Watson and the money spent and the situational stuff where they definitely could at least try to use him. He looked very, very dusty. I was sad about that decision on my second King of the Beach lineup. But, man, I thought it would be a good spot if you want to game stack it up. Everyone was a little bit underpriced. But, man, he was very, very dusty in week 1. I don't know if it'll be the same this week. I know we're talking about Amari Cooper here in a second and other stuff. But I'll just say, like, you can do the flop leg on Chubb. But you could also do, it's not flop line because he wasn't owned last week, but what if Watson comes back? You got Watson, Mixon, whoever ends up being your receivers. Like, I don't know. The game's, it's a divisional game.
Yeah.
So, usually they go lower and whatnot, but you also see the opposite sometimes where they just go off. And that could definitely be something.
All right. So let's talk about the Browns. Amari Cooper's questionable. Okay. Dude has a 27% target share. That's impressive. And Deshaun Watson looked his way quite a bit. And then Njoku's coming back. So question mark by Cooper, but Njoku's coming back. And Tambo, this is a game theory. How do I figure out who Deshaun Watson's going to want to throw to, given that this will be his second game?
And you guess, but I'm saying that's what I just brought up. Again, people will hate on it or say it's dusty again. Like, why? How could you go back to the guy? I'm just saying, you go Deshaun, you go with, let's say Cooper's out. I'm just saying Deshaun,
right?
Peoples-Jones, Njoku. You get the deep bomb to Peoples-Jones. You get a touchdown or whatever with Njoku in the red zone. Deshaun runs one in, whatever. You got Mixon and or Chase or Higgins or whoever you want to put on the. It's very stackable, is all I'm saying, and it gets more condensed if Cooper is out. So I actually don't have any problem with it. I know, again, I don't care. It's like if you're burning money in the 150 max or you're willing to just put your money on it, I have no problem going to it. I'll definitely have some of that. So I'll say it here. I got no problem with it.
Okay. Crane, what do you want to do here?
Yeah.
With this
I mean, it's concerning to me that he only threw 22 times. I know they were crushing and they had the defensive touchdowns, but like 22 attempts ain't going to get it done. Are they suddenly going to give him 35 attempts? I don't know. That said, I do like Njoku a lot at 3.9K, especially if Amari's out. If Amari's out, like the ball's got to go somewhere because even if he's only dropping back 25 times, he's still got to throw it somewhere. I think Njoku's the most likely guy to get most of those targets. Peoples-Jones, of course, Tambo was just saying the deep threat. I think he's perfectly fine too at 4.9. I think Peoples-Jones is fine even if Amari is in. But if Amari's out, I think both those guys, as Tambo was saying, are elite plays.
You could just leave DPJ off too. We've seen this be just more than enough, Crane, where nobody's playing really Njoku or Watson. And we like the guy. Like, I don't know if you, at least I do, Mixon. Everyone likes Burrow this week. So
I love Mixon.
Chase,
I love Mixon.
Like Mixon, all you have to do, you don't have to go crazy. It's just Watson, Njoku with a Cincy guy. And then you can stack anything you want in there. And then when it hits, people get mad that all the chalky plays hit. But like, did you play the chalk with Deshaun Watson and Njoku? Probably not. But that's all you needed to do to be able to be a little bit unique on this. Like, you could do Huntley and Andrews if you want to go different. My point being, like, sometimes it's just that one move that you do that then you could stack it up the rest of the way and get away with it. So I really don't hate this spot.
And look, there's going to be a week. I don't know if it'll be this year or early next year, but Deshaun Watson's going to break one of these slates. I mean,
didn't Brissett over 30 DraftKings points against Cincy and they beat them last game?
Brissett played good, man. Like in
Chase,
place of Watson.
No Chase in that game. No Chase.
So like, I just think that like Watson is going to break a slate eventually, and I don't know. I'm kind of with Tambo. He's only 6'4". Like this is a guy that's going to be 8K within a month, I bet. Right. And you're kind of buying low here. I don't hate the idea of playing.
I just wish I didn't watch the game. I wish I didn't watch it.
It was bad. It was very bad.
Yep.
Seriously, if had I not watched it, I probably would. The mechanics are he's thrown off his back foot. It was just so unnecessarily doing shit.
He was missing like 7 and 8 yard throws.
I know.
Were in the dirt.
Guys, I hate playing Joe Mixon. He's got the team giving up third most fantasy points to running backs. He had a concussion. He's been fine. His body's probably really fresh from this rest. I'm with you, man. Joseph Mixon this week should be good.
You're probably going to see Mixon and Foreman on my main team.
Good. Now I know who your main team is.
We only need a few more spots, Holden. We get a score.
Yep.
We'll be all our way.
All right
there.
We got so we got a bunch of guys here, Crane. I'm going to throw 3 guys out at you. If you want to talk about anyone, fine. Cortland Sutton won't play.
No.
What do you think of Jerry Judy? Kadarius Toney, questionable.
Nope.
Corey Davis, off the injury report. Come on. Give me a little love for Corey Davis.
No, okay, look, if you want to mess with there is one guy you should be playing on the Jets. I know he had 10 targets last week. I don't care. If I'm playing anybody on the Jets, it's going to be Garrett Wilson. This guy's a 7K receiver and a 5.9K price tags body right now. Like, you just want to play Garrett Wilson. I'm not messing with Corey Davis. I'm not doing it.
Tambo, Judy, Tony, Corey Davis, anything here?
I'm not messing with Corey Davis, but Elijah Moore, 74% slot rate in week 13. Gonna come out in the tidbits tomorrow. Chris Wecht at Chris Wecht FF posted it. It's a good one. But Garrett Wilson is getting those targets, but he's not in the slot anymore. So I do think it's interesting. And Elijah Moore is cheap enough. You could get a double stack going like our guy JT Hayes loved last week with Mike White. Mike White just throws the ball a million times a game. I know there's going to be interceptions. Last time he played this Buffalo Bills team, I think he had 4 interceptions. But still, that's an argument for a different conversation when you're playing the Buffalo D. Those are different lineups, though. If you want to run some Mike White stacks out, Elijah Moore would be interesting. The other spots you said, what were the other two holding? Because there was one I liked.
The Kadarius Toney's Cortland Sutton with Jerry Jeudy. You probably like Jeudy, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course. I was just about to say I like Jeudy. I like Dulcich. I even like Hinton. I might actually have to play Russell Wilson in a lineup this week and just stack it up there. I know it's wild.
Crane, but I've been hearing this shit all week. All of them. Tony, Dunkel. It's just all of them. All week, Russell Wilson. Here's another thing. I wish my eyes were not gouged out by having to watch every snap of this guy.
You have to have no emotions, though. Yeah,
I know, Tambo, you're right.
I will say 5-1 is really cheap for Russ.
Yeah.
It's so cheap.
You're right. You know.
It's just like, who cares? You just let the money go to waste. But it's like, if it hits, you probably ship because everything else you put in is going to be a pretty solid play, and you got the money now. So
yep.
Yeah, I have at least have some interest in it, even though it is disgusting. It's interesting.
I can get on the Deshaun Watson train. The Russell Wilson thing, if I get burned, I get burned. He's just so fucking bad. It really is. Like Baker Mayfield's better than him.
Oh, God. Baker, like recency bias off one night.
No, Baker Mayfield's one of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League. That's how bad Russell Wilson, of all qualified quarterbacks, like if you've had 8 starts, he's one of the 1 or 2 worst in the league. Just go look at the numbers, just by numbers.
Yeah, it's been bad this season. I mean, that actually is we should post a poll out on Twitter. Who's worse, Russell Wilson or Baker Mayfield?
Right now, it's Russell Wilson, because
anyone who's watching right now, let me know in the chat, who is worse, not who's better, who's worse, Baker or Russell Wilson? I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Wilson's been so bad, they dropped his passing touchdown prop to a half a touchdown.
Baker didn't get to play. Even on the Carolina Panthers, he was not allowed to play. There's a reason.
No, I'm talking about Wilson, man.
I know. I'm saying, but I agree with you. That's we got to see all that. But there's still Baker is team. Like he's not playing for a reason.
Baker's horrible.
And he comes back out last night and gets the W.
Good job. Yeah, you had one drive.
Like, it's just so bad. I don't know.
Great job.
This is the most depressing conversation in the history of this show.
It's bad, but it is
a show hasn't been around that long. I mean, 2 years.
I know, but it's still it's pretty bad. Pretty freaking bad, guys. Like,
who do you think is worse, Crane? Tell us.
We spent way too much time on that.
For talking about it.
Way too much.
So you don't have an answer? You don't have a guy?
I think they're both bad. You're arguing who's worse between a poop sandwich and a poop hot dog. Like it's just not something I don't like. Yeah. I don't know.
Some people like hot dogs buns better.
I'm not a QBR guy. But here, Russell Wilson of qualified quarterbacks, 28th. 31st is Baker Mayfield. All right. Yeah. So Baker Mayfield's a little worse, just a little worse, not much. By the way, the Broncos
started it when he said that Wilson's worse than Baker Mayfield. That's
13 straight.
So, well, all right, we can move on.
Depends on the game. Zay Jones questionable. Trevor Lawrence questionable. With the toe. Doug Peterson said it depends on how he feels today. Tambo, outside of ATN, is there anybody in this offense you'd even consider this week?
I like the passing game much more. Yeah, flop leg, go back. If Trevor Lawrence is actually healthy enough to
play, he plays,
then I've got interest. If Zay Jones goes out, it's even more condensed. You just got Kirk, Marv Jones, and Ingram. Like to me, that's fine. On Tennessee side, you've got Burks out, who's another piece to talk about. But my point being, like, you've got Henry there, who we like. I'm sure we like. Tennessee against Jacksonville, it's a good spot. So, yeah, I think if there's at least interest in this spot, you can't play everybody, but I mean, this is just something we happen to talk about, some of the spots that I have more interest in on this slate beyond the obvious of Minnesota, Detroit that people are going to talk about all week. So, yeah, it is interesting for that spot. Zay Jones is weird that came up because I didn't expect him to be questionable at all, and that just came up this afternoon.
Crane?
Yeah, Lawrence is a guy that he's actually in my shell right now. I definitely like Lawrence. I like the passing game here. I like Christian Kirk here, 6'6". Nobody's going to pay that for a team with a 19-point total. But Lawrence is a guy, we know he has rushing upside. We know the Titans. You can pass on him. And, I mean, if he dropped back 35 or 40 times, it wouldn't shock me, especially if Zay is out. We know where the ball's going. We know it's going to Kirk. 10, 12 targets wouldn't shock me here. So I look at this spot and I say, people are going to play him. I'm seeing Trevor Lawrence at projected 2% ownership right now. How often do we get a quarterback against the Titans at 2%?
And that was like, what was he, super chalk last week?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have a lot of mad people. I think Lawrence is a good play.
Okay. Listen, if he's in there, maybe the rushing upside isn't there as much with the toe, but maybe they just shoot him up and he still runs. We got Lamar Jackson's doubtful to play. He's not. Tyler Huntley, by the way, came in last week, had a stomach flu, tried to eat a hot dog at halftime. Imagine that with a stomach flu.
No.
I couldn't eat one without a stomach flu. And Hayden Hurst.
Not a hot dog fan. That's how you get that physique, man. You just
I can't eat hot dogs. No, they make me sick. Yeah.
Right.
Tambo, you like the hot dog?
You're sick already.
Golf course, do the front 9. Have a dog at the wrap around there. I don't mind it.
All right, Crane, last one. Hayden Hurst isn't playing. Mitchell Wilcox is not an option, is he?
No. Like,
okay.
No, I'm not playing Mitchell Wilcox.
Tambo?
I'll play him.
Yeah.
Okay, you have fun.
Well, all I'll say is this. All season long, it's been a constant in these Millie Maker winners. The tight end is attached to the stack. And so if you are playing Burrow, or if you're going the other side, again, if I'm going the other side, I'm probably playing Njoku with Watson. But I don't hate the fact that if you just played Burrow and Chase and you need a cheap tight end and you land on Wilcox, I'd probably try to get to Jordan Akins, but I'm just saying I think he's 2,700 for Wilcox. I wouldn't mind rounding out the stack if you're there.
I just built a nice little lineup with all your guys' stuff. Throw it in there.
Send it to me after so I can approve or deny.
No, I'm not. I don't remember half of it.
No full lineup, sir. No full lineup.
I just know Akins, Foreman's going to be in there. I mean, if you're playing Akins, don't you have to go Davis Mills this week? I mean, come on.
No, you go with Zeke or Pollard to run it on the secondary stack.
Tambo, I said that because I wanted to see Crane's reaction, and I got exactly.
No, you got a reaction.
All right, boys, listen. Catch Tambo 8:45 Eastern. They get things started. Him, AP, JT Hayes. They get you started for building your Sunday lineups. Crane's next. He's with Hoop. DC's in for Tony this week. Then hour and a half before lock, me, JSU Dunkel. We talk DFS, a little bit of betting, and a lot of your questions up to lock for DFS. All right, boys, have a great weekend. I'll see you. You'll see them. It'll be amazing. Tambo, good to see you. Crane, good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Get us out of here.